Hey, Shalom. First of all, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Kadash, Yahweh, who the world innately calls God, Yahweh Shai, who the world innately calls Jesus. When they give whatever honor to the apostles of Great Millstone, who has taught me this truth, when they give a peace and blessings to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, who teach this truth, and rich life to do so. It's going to be a quick video. Lord, when the video is edifying, Lord, when I can get something from this video. Basically, it's going to be about, man, the importance of getting rid of bywords, you know what I mean? And the reason why sometimes you hear, like, well, on the highways and byways, you'll hear us talking about, and even in videos, you'll hear us talking about, you know, us not calling ourselves black or us not calling ourselves African American, you know, named after two Italian map makers, you know what I mean? Because we're not Italian, okay? We refer to, we need to be brought back to who we really are as far as race or ethnic, okay? And it's important, right, that we have that, and it's important that we push that, because this is how you know who you are biblically, okay? This is how you know who you are biblically, man, okay? See, when we were in captivity, right, because when you go to Psalms, it tells you that the nations are confederate against thee, against Israel, okay? When we were in captivity, not only did they take away, you know, our so-called, well, I ain't gonna say religion, but our traditions. Not only did they try to take away the name, which they did, right, and try to show us a different name and the different images. They took away the images. They took away the identity we had with the Lord, okay, as far as us knowing the Lord, you know what I mean? And that's why we became lost sheep, you know, essentially, you know what I mean? And I mean, that's not, you know, the only reason why, but that was part of us becoming lost sheep, okay? That was, you know, because if you don't have any knowledge of who you are, okay, and you're under captivity, then you're going to listen to whoever got you under captivity. And we were under captivity under Edomites, man. We were in captivity under Edomites, which is our enemy, right, who seek to destroy our name now, not just Esau, but we were in captivity under all these nations, man. And this is why the nations are going to have to suffer. And this is why the nations are going to have to be in subjection under us in the kingdom, okay, contrary to popular belief. And there's many scriptures on that. I've done many videos on that brothers could go see, you know what I mean? That's another video for another time. But, you know, we should do unto them what they did unto us, but in righteousness is not, and that's not a bad thing to get revenge, man. Okay, because here it is, you got niggas that still lost. How is it 2022 and we didn't prove to you who we are as a people spiritually, you know what I mean? And not because you black, so-called black or so-called brown, right? Or, yeah, you know, not because your hue or your skin. No. Okay, because you got Israelites who look like all nations, but it's the spirit that bears witness. Okay, it's the spirit that bears witness. You can't fake the spirit, man. You can't fake it. You can't fake knowing the truth. It's either you're going to know it or you're not. You know what I mean? It's either you're going to do it right or you're not going to do it right. Ain't no in between. Ain't no gray area, man. Okay? But you hear a lot about our people calling themselves black. And if you look at the so-called black culture, it's a very destructive culture. Okay? I mean, it promotes killing one another. It promotes robbing from one another. It promotes stealing from one another. You know, I heard something from a man. He said something very, you know, very valuable, and it was sad to a degree. He said something very valuable. He said how white people was back then when they was lynching and killing niggas and hanging niggas from trees. That's the new black people. And that was powerful when he said that shit, because it resonated. Like, damn, absolutely. Because here it is. Jake can't go nowhere without Jake putting hell on Jake. Okay, and obviously it's part of the curses, right? Which I'm in. All right, but Jake put hell on Jake. Jake robbed Jake. Jake look and creep after Jake. You know what I mean? And then once Esau knocked Jake down, Jake used that for an excuse to go rob, steal, kill, go to stores, loot, right? But they don't have the same energy or the same mentality when Jake do it to Jake. And Jake knock off Jake every fucking day. Okay? Jake knock off Jake every fucking day. And that's why we don't really get along with 2/3 in the world. We don't really deal with 2/3 in the world, man, because we have nothing in common. We ain't them, we don't have the same mind. We don't have the same beliefs, You're more of a heathen as far as your mind than anything. When we come into this truth, our whole reality changed. Everything we thought changed, man. Okay? But again, when you look at this black culture that's being pushed, and it's being funded by, our enemy, okay? And you niggas is just the puppets, right? But we see through that shit. We know who's behind, funding and promoting the killing and all that. You know what I mean? But it's a destructive culture. You know what I mean? So you won't hear us calling ourselves black. You won't hear us calling ourselves niggas. You won't hear us calling ourselves these different vile words, these different names. But you'll hear us calling ourselves Judah. You hear us calling ourselves Benjamin or Levi or Issachar, okay, or Ephraim or Manasseh or Zebulon. Right? You hear us saying, these different names, right? Because we're identifying to who we truly are and what we really are and what they've been trying to hide from us for years now. Again, I'll say this. Not everybody's going to get it. Not everybody's supposed to get it. Somebody got to endure in that fire. Somebody got to go and catch hell, extreme hell in martial law. Okay, somebody got to do it. Okay, and the ones who don't get it, and the ones who ain't trying to, who's using their liberty, to fulfill the deeds of their flesh, are going to be the ones that's going to be punished, man, in this thing. Okay, in this world, in the hell that's coming. But let me grab this real quick and I end the video. This is Deuteronomy 28:36. It says, the Lord Yahweh shall bring thee and thy king, which thou shalt set over thee, unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, and there shalt thou serve gods, wood and stone. Okay, and if you look at that, that happened here in America. Okay, from both southern and the southern tribes and the northern tribes. It says, and thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword. Okay, so we're not called by by our